Stewart looked to lift the stick, ends up behind the Chicago net. Cool to hit the corners. The Admirals coming out very physical in this opening period, and they've had some good, strong forecheck shifts.
It's the same guys, Tristan Grant, again with that solid hit on Cool to pull him right to the ice.
Greg Stewart will roll it into the Admiral zone. Penalty call coming in is Greg Stewart and Grant lock arms.
He's visiting Milwaukee.
And then they're in the Admiral bench now, and they're fighting. You rarely see this.
You know what they say, when one door closes, another one opens.
Yes.
Well, the bench of the Wolves was closed, so Greg Stewart having a smile, a smirk on his face with Tristan Grant visits the bench of the Admirals. I'm not sure the initial penalty. Did you see? I know the referee's arm was in the air. So between the benches, these benches very close. And there was some sparring going on. Here's Tristan Grant, just had the big hit, and there's the penalty initially. He knocked Greg Stewart. Stewart not ready for that. That was a very dangerous play, and I can see why Greg Stewart was not very happy. Not that he wanted to join the Admirals. So you would have to think Grant would get an extra 2 at least here.
Well, he was already traded once in the AHL this year, and Greg Stewart was very adamant with you. He did not appreciate it.
Wow, look at that. That's very dangerous. Stewart was not ready for that. He was waiting for a line change, and he got knocked into the turnbuckle.
Greg Stewart will head to the locker room with 2:22 to go, so that means more than 2 minutes in penalties will be assumed by Greg Stewart.
Well, I think both of them might get 5-minute majors, but the extra 2 will probably go to Tristan Grant. There's 2 on the board, so the Wolves pay the price. The Wolves with the dominant power play, and that's what you'd love to see happen. Score a goal or 2 when you get these situations arising. And if you're not going to take care of business that way, they're going to keep doing it.
Machacek trying to jam it in. They score! Spencer Machacek inserted the power play, and he strikes.
A little bit of hunger, huh?
Well, Don Lieber says he wants to rotate lines, so with 6 power plays in this opening period, he doesn't have the luxury of getting an energy guy like Machacek out there.
Very true. And he is so good around the net. He makes the initial contact, finds a loose puck, and himself, not just once, but 2. That second one, boy, how does that get up and over top of the goaltender with the extended left pad? Look at the first swat, and then the second one, I think he gets help from Van Gilder.
Yes.
It might have gone off Van Gilder's stick as they both collide, and that's why it jumps up.
Spencer Machacek, 20 goals in the regular season, his first to the playoffs. As it's dumped into the Wolves zone with a minute to go. So Chicago on the embark power play, able to produce the opening goal. And they have the 1-0 lead late in the first period. Unassisted goal for Spencer Machacek at 18:50.
Here's the opportunity. Anderson shot blocked by Yonkman. I think he's hurt. He wanted to get off the ice, but could not. There's Dole with the rebound. Oh, it hit the side of the post.
That was close.
Yeah, that was close, but he really didn't have much of an angle. Had to thread the needle. Look where he releases it, almost on the line, so he really didn't have any room to throw that puck back towards the goal.
Jason Krog pulls the draw back to Arthur's Kula. Shot hit. Johnny Pohl in front. Krog on the rebound. They score! Johnny Pohl. Johnny on the spot. They're just as happy on the bench.
Well, I mentioned this. This was an icing call, and I think Nolan Yonkman was not only tired, but I think hurt from the block shot from Matt Anderson. He had to stay on the ice, and what a nice draw by Jason Krog. Cleanly, straight back to the point. The shot is a high one. There's the draw. Kula releases it as he steps to the side. Good play by him. It hits Pohl initially, and he just stays with the puck. I'm not sure if Pohl gets it or Krog gets it. They both swept at the puck. And it doesn't matter. Somehow it found the back of the net. There it is. It's Pohl's. Great camera angle from Crazy Carl. And Kevin Dole a little bit happy. Spencer's always that way. That's a big goal with 11:54 remaining in the third. 2-0 now.
Joey Crab better make sure he has his mouth guard in with Spencer Machacek hopping around on the bench like that. It was a game-winning goal in overtime earlier this year for Joey Crab, and he ended up chipping it too. Now Greg Stewart working in. Trying to get a step on glove, push to the side of the net, and Dekanich able to hold on.
Big sure got out first. A lot of guys will try to keep that in play right down at your feet, but he was in the zone about 10 feet, threw it out of the zone, and then tried to go get it.
Wisniewski the boards around to Anderson. Nice touch pass, 2-on-1. Crab and Stapleton. Pass to Stapleton. Pulls the trigger. He scores!
Play. Strong play by Matty Anderson along the boards up by his blue line, but I really thought this might be offside. I'm not sure if we'll get a glimpse of it. Stapleton looked like he might have been a stride across with his left leg. Vistesky's going to throw it around. Here's the battle. Good play on a pinching defenseman. Crab picks it up, and he makes a knuckle pass across, but what a play by Stapleton to corral it and fire it all at once. Blackers side 3-0, 4:46 remaining in favor of the Wolves.
A Forest Park native makes it 3-0, his first of the postseason, as all three Chicago forwards touched it on the way up ice.
Now the play was Anderson. What a nice play he made, knowing that he was going to get hit. Supported the puck in his body, took the hit, and made the great play. Good hustle by Pohl and Machacek. The two of them together, terrific.
Fang got it to the line, broken up. Chelios the pressure, the clear by Hosafel. The faithful here at the Allstate come to their feet, banging their thundersticks. Chicago with home ice, trying to hold serve in the final 10 seconds. Up by 3, power play continues for Milwaukee. Blowing a shot, it's off target, and Peter Mannino picks up the shutout as the last shot at the buzzer off the iron.
That moved the net. That was a rocket from the point. It might have counted, but nonetheless, it didn't matter. 3-0. Strong performance by Peter Mannino. And a good, solid third period. What a difference that 20 minutes was from the Wolves. Their best period, I think, of the playoffs so far.
That was the first shutout for the Wolves in the playoffs since May 18th of 2008. Andre Pavelec shut out the Marlies as they surround Peter Mannino. He gave up 5 in the opener, and he's perfect in game 2 as the Wolves take it 3-0.